Hello, hello, everyone. Sorry about that. Trying to fix my shirt. Welcome to Paranormal Connections radio show. I'm your host, Christina George, and for the next hour, I have lots of fun. As you can see, I am solo tonight. My co-host Chad is not feeling well, so they'll be listening in. So we send out some good vibes to him. Hopefully, he'll be good and be back next week. But tonight, you guys remember a couple of weeks ago we were going to have a tarot card reader on, and she had an emergency last minute, and so we had to change, cancel that show, change it, and I think Chad and I were just talking about random stuff. Well, the great thing is my girl is back. So she is going to be on the show tonight. We're going to have a blast. Make sure to put all of your questions down on the comment in the chat room. We will definitely get to them if you have any questions. I believe my guest is also open to doing a few tarot card pulls for us tonight. So let's just say hello to a few people already coming in. Hey, Michelle, nice to see you, love. All right, we got Pat. Hey, Pat. Hey, Carolyn, how you? Nice to see ya. And Carol, nice to see you. All right, we got people that are pouring in. So again, you guys can go ahead and put your comments up. I will go ahead and share them as we go. I am going to bring on my guest in just a moment. Let me just tell you a little bit about her. All right, so our guest tonight is Onae. Onae is a tarot reader, a psychic, a medium, and a pastor. She was raised in a family of readers and grew up with a tarot deck at the kitchen table as she is raising her family in the same tradition at this point. Since she was raised in a family of tarot card readers, she definitely has had her shares of reading. Readings are fun to her and entertaining, but she also values the guidance and insight that they offer. She's been giving card readings for family and friends for over 29 years and has read tarot cards professionally for over 20 years. Now, many of you probably have seen her, and I'm going to bring her on because there was a lot of people who were very interested when she was going to be on the show before. Many of you will probably know, you've probably seen her on Facebook giving free tarot readings. I actually popped in not that long ago. You guys know I always love to check out other people and see what they have to say. And yeah, she had all kinds of very interesting things to say and was spot on. So I am absolutely so excited to have her on the show tonight. Hey, Ward, nice to have you here. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and bring on my guest.
Hi.
All right, Onae, how are you?
Good. How are you, hon?
I'm good, and I am so happy to finally get you on the show. You know, it's crazy because there was like 3 weeks straight that every single guest had some kind of like last minute emergency. Now, mind you, we're a live show. It happened.
Yep.
But the fact that it was happening every week and everybody was letting me know like the hour before the show started. I'm like, oh my God, what are we going to do? But, I always figure something out.
Horrible. I felt so bad.
No, you know what? It just comes with the territory. It is what it is. And as long as I've been doing the show, you just have to have some other topics that you can pull out of your back pocket and discuss. So, and having a co-host makes it always so much easier because you can just sit and chit chat with them about anything and everything in the paranormal. There's always plenty something to talk about, for sure. All right. Michelle said share. Thank you so much, Mish. We appreciate you. Michelle. Andy says my granddaughter just died March 21st. Oh, I'm sorry. Granddaughter. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Andy. That I can't even imagine. My condolences for sure. Oh, Carol says you're a pretty lady, Onae.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. I know all beautiful women. Are you kidding me? All right. Yep. And Michelle loves her too. Michelle, she's amazing. What else can we say about Mish, right? Amazing. Hey, Rob. Hello, Robert. You haven't been at the show for a long time. Welcome back. And yes, as you know, you've been watching the show for a long time. Yes, I always have to have a backup plan because you never know actually what might happen. And yes, Miss, you're one of my favorite. I will always have good things to say about you, and I will take down anybody who goes against you. Just know that's how much I love you. Okay, All right, let's back to our guest. All right, Onae. So we talked a little bit about your background on the intro for the show, but talk a little bit about that. Like I love when I meet psychics or anything like that, and they come from a background where their family is very accepting of the
Mhm.
abilities, encourage you to utilize them. I love that, but that's usually not the commonality story that we have. Usually it's like, oh yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, stop talking about that. It's your imaginary friends. It's imagination. So
Mhm.
tell us a little bit of how it was to grow up in a family, environment that was just so understanding and like that was the norm for you guys, right?
Well, it was kind of normal, but not quite, not everything. Um, so I was raised in a Catholic church, so that was like I knew. So you had to kind of keep things like quiet um, with certain people in your life. But
I
in the
mean,
family, yeah, and growing up in the family, it's like I grew up. It's like my favorite story is to tell everybody is when I was at my aunt's house, my aunt Beverly, and she was the main tarot reader in the family, and her and my mother, they were sisters, and they grew up that way, learning to be telepathic, talk to each other telepathically, and all kinds of wonderful stuff like that, that fun stuff. And hey Pam, and so yeah, I and my favorite story is, and this is how because I didn't grow up with, you see everybody today, they're doing the cards and they're reading from books and they're learning from books and things like that, and I didn't learn that way. I barely know the meanings of these things, like textbook stuff, because when I was growing up, like my favorite memory is, sitting in my aunt's kitchen, my cousins, my sisters and I, with my mom and my aunt, they're reading the cards and we're all just kind of like looking and watching and learning, and that's how we learned. And my aunt's like, "Oh, I see a shopping mall." And we're like, "What? A shopping mall? Where's the shopping mall?" And she's like, "Here." She's like, these are just a tool to help you tune in and tap into your intuition. You are the one who gets the messages, not necessarily these. These just kind of give you hints, and they like help you tap into it. They'll like, give you clues here and there to kind of relay the messages that need to be heard. And we, we were raised where it was not like, it's not it wasn't to be a cool thing. It was just who we were. We were just raised with that. Everybody in our family pretty much has some kind of form of intuition or strength of some sort, and but we're not all the same. And at first I thought it was, unfortunate for me, but then I learned how to use it as a positive thing. And I have the ability, I get the lion's share of all the abilities. I'm able to basically do almost pretty much anything. And I'm always learning even more every day about myself,
yeah,
even more abilities every time I get challenged by somebody. It's pretty, sometimes it's
often,
freaky. But
yeah,
yeah, so I had the ability, which was kind of freaky for my own family, was the ability to talk to those that have crossed over. So I have mediumship abilities. And they didn't know how to handle that, and they didn't understand what the signs were for that, because they didn't, not everyone in there, and if they did have it, they were afraid of it. So they were like, no, 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 let's not go there. But I had to grow and
right,
expand with it, because every time I tried to squash it and deny it and fear it, then it got worse for me.
yeah,
So I ended up having to, I was fortunate enough to not only be raised up in a family that accepted this and knew all this stuff just from the old Irish ways and traditions, but I moved from back east from New York to and Connecticut area, um, to Tucson, where we had this spiritual metaphysical church at the time. And I grew up from 17 years old all the way up through this, where I had mentors and friends that were able to help me develop and understand and not be afraid of these abilities that my family couldn't understand.
right.
So I was able to grow from there. I mean, like we were bending spoons with our minds. That's how fun this stuff is. So so yeah, so I had that support there. and and then it's also just kind of like, just, when you focus on love and the attention and the intent of love and helping others, and that's how I became a minister. And with that, because I wanted to help others, I want to help heal people, and I wanted to use my abilities and my strengths and my gifts And I say gifts because, again, being raised Catholic, in the Bible, um, 1 Corinthians chapter 12, you read the whole chapter and it's all about spiritual gifts. So, and yeah, I believe that wholeheartedly. I mean, but I also have other beliefs too. I mean, obviously pagan ways, Wiccan ways, all this, all just a hodgepodge of whatever, but what resonates with me. And so, yeah, so I was raised that way. So it was like, I was given the basics of one, being raised Catholic. You get to know about the strengths, and of what spiritual. I mean, people don't think of the religions as spiritual, but it really is. If you can find it, if you can pull it from what you need, and then leave the rest. So
Right.
that's what I learned, is like, you take what resonates with you, and then you just leave the rest. And then and all different religions and faiths, it doesn't matter for me. And so I'm just basically, just kind of trying to help people with that. And once I figured that out, and just use, as long as I'm working in love, then that's all that matters. And then it just kind of just grows, because I read energy. That's basically what I learned. I read energy, and I listen to energy. Because I even asked them, I'm like, because my aunt passed away one time. I have a couple of aunts, and one used to pass away a lot. She'd come back, she must have died, I don't know, 20 times, and she'd keep coming back, and she's like, I don't want to come back anymore. It was just so beautiful over there. She's like, I just want to stay. And there was this one time when she actually finally did. And then my other aunt did pass, and I asked them both, I'm like, why do I have this ability? Because I'm like, wow, this is kind of crazy. And so, yeah, she's like, they answered me, and they told me because I listen. And so everybody, we all have this ability. It's kind of like being a chef, right? Or a cook.
Right.
Like, we can all probably cook, or okay, well, I shouldn't say cook. Okay, we can all boil water, right? At least I hope so. But
Right.
not everybody is Gordon Ramsay,
Right.
So we all have our special abilities and everything. So, but
All right.
yeah,
Interesting. And for everybody in chat, just so you know, for some reason, every week now, I get somebody that wants to come and spam our chat. So the
yes,
Nikki Worth that's there, I've already blocked her. Please, if anybody reaches out and start sending stuff like this, never respond.
I
They're
call
just
them
spammers.
trolls. I call them trolls because they get on there and they're just being little sneaky little things, trying to scam you. And it's like, and they that's what they do. They follow people like us, and they follow our shows, and then they try to get in on it.
Yeah,
So,
I blocked her, Michelle. She's already blocked. There won't be anything up there. I try to keep an eye on the chat as we go through these. I have to say, I'm so used to trolls from doing the show for so long. These ones are really nothing. I don't care. I don't even pay attention to them because they're still viewers, and so it still, still helps me out. I used to get the spammers and the trolls that would come and spam every post, every chat I had, every live show with porn.
oh, geez.
They probably made a lot of people happy. They have the links, but you know, I just kind of yeah, they'll try everything, but I'm just like, hey, even if you're a hater, you can come and watch the show. You can give me a view, but I'll probably block you halfway through because I don't like all that BS. So, and I just learned how to block people. So, yeah, come here now. You're going to get blocked.
Yep. And I see that Robert White here. He's like, yep, it gets stronger if you push it aside. And it's true. It really
100%.
is. It's like, because, it's just kind of like a dam with water. And so it just keeps coming. And it's like, and you're trying to fight it and block it. And it's just like, it just keeps coming at you. So yes, Robert. Yeah, it's
Very
so
much so. And I went through the same thing too. When, you were talking about how you use, you want to use your abilities and things like that to help people. And for me, I did that. I mean, for over 10 years, I
Mm-hmm.
was mentoring children and teenagers with abilities and their parents
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want anybody to have to go through what I went through and not have any kind of answers, at least somewhere to guide them. Because unfortunately, many of us don't come from very supportive backgrounds,
Yeah.
of people. So for me, it was something, and I'm actually thinking about now going back to it because I'm getting a lot of my friends now that have teenagers and they're interested and want to investigate, and they just want to make sure that they're getting, they're like, oh, my kids are starting to see things and they're telling me things and I don't know what to do. I mean, being an investigator and having a child that has abilities are it is different,
Mm-hmm.
because unless you really understand the gifts that they have and what needs to be done, to hone in on their skills, protect them as well, because especially as teenagers, they're very vulnerable to attack
Yes.
for sure. Now,
Yes.
with the tarot, because I find this very fascinating, because with me, I can visually see spirits, so I can see them, hear them, and communicate with them. So I've never needed any tools. I've always been interested because again, being in this field, I've met tons of psychics, tons of tarot card readers,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, oh, you should learn, tarot. It's just like it's just another tool. And yeah, I mean, that's great. But it's like, I look at these books, I look at these books like to train, and like, I don't even have that brain capacity anymore to try to figure out. And they'll have one meaning, and if it's upside down, reverse, it's a different meaning, and together
And
with a bunch of,
it's
because
not
it's
even just
different.
one meaning. They've got like 20 different meanings per like one card, and then you flip it over and like and reverse it, and then it's like another 20 meanings. And you have like all these cards, you've got to like freaking
Yes,
figure it. Yeah, no. No. What you do is you just kind of read them with, every day you lay them out, you shuffle in the morning, and you just kind of go, okay, what's my day going to be like, and then you shuffle,
right,
you lay out 3 cards, and then you leave them there, and then you go back to the end of the day, and you're kind of like, okay, how do these cards pertain to my day? And then you have a personal experience related to that card. Like this one here is and then you get little, symbols. Like, I mean, because I read the Rider Waite. That's basically how I grew up. And so I always kind of stick to something very similar. This is the Hanson Roberts, which is a very similar um, to the Rider Waite. But it's like, so you have like the pages, you have the queens, the knights, and the kings, and then you gotta go, okay, well, with that, how do you work that? Well, kings are the leaders, right? Queens are their support system, and also with the more nurturing side of the rulers. And then you have the knights. What were the knights back in the day? Well, they were action. They were all action, right? So
right,
you just can go with that. And then the pages were messengers, right? The pages, little page guys running around in their little tights,
right,
or whatever if they did have I don't know. Movies make it where they have it like
right,
that. So, but yeah, that's what, and then so that's how you kind of start to just remember like little things like that. And then when you have the different suits, well, for me, the swords is air, right? Because you're waving that around, right? You're waving it in the air, and it's words and stuff like that. So because that saying, the pen is mightier than the sword.
right.
So there you go. So like kind of like those things kind of stem from little bits of these things, and they kind of help you. And where then the cups, of course, cups is, emotions, matter to the heart, stuff. So, and then you have pentacles. Well, pentacles is not pentacles to be evil signs and all that stuff. It's basically coins. That's all it is. It's just coins. So it means just kind of things of more monetary value, things that have a deeper value than just like words, or you're not dealing with emotions. This is something solid, or at least it's something tangible. And that's basically what you're doing. And then I you can go on and on with all these different things, but you just kind of remember like key things that resonate with you. But the most powerful thing to do, and the most important thing to do, is just kind of keep reading every day and pertaining it to a personal experience. Because then when you're reading for somebody else and you get a flash of that personal experience that you had, that's probably what the card means, and that's the message for them at that time. Because spirit, again, these are just tools, and what we're working with is our intuition.
Right.
And if we get like a flash of something in our that we experience, well, spirit's going to bring people and draw
Hmm.
people that has similar energies, or are going through some similar things that we've already been through, so that we can help them. And that's basically how I look at things, and look at the world. So, and my abilities and how I can help them. And so, and that's probably why you're going to like, when you have people that you're able to help, it's because majority of the time you're going to be like, you know what? I understand that. I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
This is how I did it. This is how I felt. I understand. And this is, maybe this will help you, instead of
Right.
going, oh, you got this problem? Well, I read this in a book and it's, yeah, Dr. Phil says this. So yeah, we'll go with that. No, now you're going to be drawing to people that have similar energy that you have. And that's why all mediums, all psychics, all no matter what you are, we all have a different flavor,
Right.
right?
Yeah, 100%.
It's yeah, it's like Baskin Robbins. One day you're in the mood for chocolate, one day you're in the mood for Rocky Road, one day maybe you want vanilla,
Right.
whatever you're
Right.
drawn to that day. And that's why it's like, okay, maybe I can't help you, hon, but let me guide you to Christina because she freaking has this stuff and she knows. So, and that's where I'm going to lead you to. I think that's where you're going to be guided to and probably be able to help. And if I can't help you and she can't help you, maybe she has a
We'll
connection.
find somebody. That's
Yep.
absolutely. And I
Yep.
love that, to be absolutely honest, because we had another psychic on a few weeks back, and same thing. It is very, you know, first of all, the abilities are very different for everybody,
Yes.
and so you can't expect it always to be like one way or one way to read, or things like that. We had people, and they were talking about the readings and how accurate I had been, because again, I've been doing this show for 15 years. So people have, and at the beginning, I did all free readings. I must have done 20, 30 a day to the point that it was just debilitating me. But
Yes.
again, that's what we do. We get out there, we give what we can. And people were saying, oh, I've had many readings with Christina. She's very accurate, but I'd love to get a reading from her if it's okay. Let it be known. Absolutely. Just because you come to me, please, get out there. And again,
Yep.
just like you, there's things that people want that I can't help them with.
Right. And then
And
there's also this. Oh, Christina's good. You went to her. She's good. She was accurate. Okay. Because I need a reading.
I'm all that's funny
I
too.
always ask them, like, oh, you went to somebody different, and how were they? Were they really good? How accurate? Because I'm looking for somebody for myself. Because my aunt passed away, my mom has dementia, so we have good days, bad days. So it's like,
Girl, we're
and I'm
we're
the
gonna
only
get together.
I'm the only reader left in the family, and I'm like, ah.
No problem. We're gonna get together and we'll just trade readings, because I will tell you, it's something that I struggle with a lot too. Being a psychic medium and helping everybody else, giving everybody else readings. For me, I have, other than my grandfather, who was the first person who ever passed away in my life that I was close to,
Mhm.
he came to me the night that he died, and I never saw him again. After that, no, I've had a lot of death around me, and never ever does anybody come to me. Not in my dreams, not in anything, and it's so disappointing because it's like I can help so many people, give them that closure and get them those answers.
Yes.
And you can't read yourself, so it's like it's hard. And I'll tell you, I have had a lot of people do readings on me. Sadly to say,
They weren't right.
majority of them,
Mhm.
if you were one of those people who read me, I was honest with you, because it's like I have a real hard time when it's just a very generic, like you could have went to my profile and gave me a reading off of just what I put out there. Oh, so you're sick a lot. Oh, I get that you had a motherly figure pass away. Well, if you Google me or you read about me, you'll probably already know the thing. When I give readings personally, I ask the spirit for very specific information, that when I give that information, that person has no question, because they know
Mhm.
there's absolutely no way that I could have guessed any of that, nor is it anywhere on social media. So, but I love doing it. I think too, a lot of people, they have abilities and they try.
Mhm.
Um, but just because you have the abilities doesn't mean like you're accurate. I mean, it's practice. It is
Mhm.
understanding what is for somebody else and what is not, and how to present what you're getting. So
Mhm.
it takes a long time. And that's why when I say people come out, they're just like, oh, yes, I'm a psychic and I'm so great. And I'm like, oh, yes, let's have a reading. I'll be happy. Let's do this.
Yep.
So
Yep.
as I always interested. All right, let's see some. We got a lot going on here in our chat room. Hey Tia, thank you so much. Robert said Google is your friend regarding tarot meanings. Well, For me, no, because again, it is too much information. And those people that really study these books and study what's going on, I so admire them because much better than me. I can't do all that. But sometimes I find that people who are reading cards have abilities. They
Mm-hmm.
just don't feel very secure with their abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're like, oh, well, I'll do tarot readings. And I'm like, oh, but you're getting the information. Like, you could give regular readings. But I think for some people, it's kind of like a crutch. Because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, well, if I get it wrong, it was the cards. Cards the problem, not me.
Well, see,
um,
I was raised where the cards never lie. So if it didn't work out, what did you do wrong?
that, that part, right? That part. You guys hear that? All right. Let's see. And we've got Virgil all the way from Manchester, England. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. She loves your accent. All right, Robert. Yeah, he said, "Oh, you do got to be specific." Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick to my readings because that's just too much work for me right now. Says Virgil says we have to lock our doors in the UK. Those damn polar bears. uh, Michelle says I'm back. Had to stuff my face. Well, stuff your face while you're here listening to us. That's perfectly fine. Devin, I'm a dowser and also a paranormal investigator. I wanted to try tarot, but it seems very complicated on reading which each card means. What kind of
Yeah.
advice could you give him?
Yeah, that's you don't have to know that you don't have to know that what each card means because I barely know what it means and I've been doing this my whole life. Again, it's like when you're laying them out, you're going to come up with your own way of laying them out. And you were going to probably read like here, I'll pull up some cards here for you, hon. So if you're like if you know something's like going to be happening here for you, then maybe you're going through a stressful time. So you're probably going to see what you're going to do here is you're going to see and read the colors too. You can like see the colors and the feelings of the cards. And so so say you're having a like a negative day or something, or you're going through something negative. So, and you had got all these cards laid out on the table because that's what I did. Just like, I don't really have like a special thing. I just kind of like, just kind of throw them all out. And I just kind of go by the energy of what I'm feeling. And so like, what do you get from this? Like, I just randomly pick these. So this is just, you're going to get like something's dark, something's cold because it's darker. The swords are there. So it's colder, you maybe a little heartache or something's happening here. Or maybe there's an illness or something. You don't know what's going on, but it's like you're reading the energy of the cards as far as colors too. So, and I snuck that happy one in there. Sorry. Let's get rid of that happy one. So, but you're just kind of like looking at that. And with that, then all of a sudden, like you're going through that hardship. So you're laying the cards out and they're all these silvery, darker and cloudy ones, right? So then you're getting that energy from that one. And then you lay out some more and you're like, okay, well, all right, so I know I'm going through a stressful time, or I will be going through a stressful time, or and then all of a sudden you're gonna like, where's a card here? Let's see. I've got like all my cards all spread out all over the place now. So then you're gonna like make a decision. Like, so then all of a sudden something boom, some new thing is gonna happen, right? Because you have an ace. Aces is one, right? You got one card right there. So that means beginnings, right? For no matter who you are, it's beginnings. And then it's like, okay, so now all of a sudden this new thing's gonna happen to you. Kitty. So then and then all of a sudden you make this one decision, or one person just kind of pops into your life, and it's like then all of a sudden boom, you've got the Sun card here, and you've got the Strength card here, and the Ace here, and the Six of Cups here, and you've got all these wonderful cards, and then you got the Ten of Cups, which is the epitome of love and happiness. So then all it takes is just one card for one decision to shift the whole color and feel. So you're going from icky boo, I don't feel good, something's not right, to, oh look, I made a decision, or someone entered my life, and wow,
Things are going to change.
yeah. And then you just kind of, you can read just the energy of the cards. That's basically all you're kind of tapping. What does it make you feel? What are you feeling? You're reading cards, you're reading colors, you're reading numbers, you're seeing numbers, it's like, okay, well, numbers 1 is beginnings. 9 or 10 is like endings. So depending upon what you do, because like what I do is I grew up where, as you can see my cards right here, um, I write on the back of them. And so right there, on not on all of them, but so when you're cutting the deck, you're getting like a different color and a number. So you're reading the color and the number. So you're getting two kind of different readings already just before you even, get to this side of the reading. So it's just
Interesting.
all different kinds, but everyone has their own ways. This is just the way I grew up. I was
Right.
So, and everybody has their own little traditions and things like that. So, but yeah, and you just have to relate it to what you're feeling. I mean, if you see this, oh, what is that? That looks like she's comfortable, right? It's like, so you're just like, oh, comfort. The money's there. Those are the money cards. So yeah, looks like she's kind of comfortable. Oh, look at this. Something's coming out of, you're really contemplating something. Look, he's contemplating something. You got 4 things right there in front of you, 4 cups. This is like opportunities, emotions, things that you're mulling over. And then look at how he's like focused down on here on all these things. He's looking there, not seeing another opportunity that's possibly coming out of thin air, right? And creating, and then possibly then leading to success, the world card. I mean, what does that mean? Like, look at that, you have everything you need. Everything's in your corner that you need. It's just kind of, I don't even know if that's what these cards mean, but it's just what it comes to me.
But that's what you get from them.
Exactly.
So a big part of it is
and
your
this is how I
intuition,
read cards.
right?
I'm like, oh yeah, and this plop, and this plop, and then I might look down it and go, oh, okay, and see how it just fell onto the table. And it's just like, oh, and then I see a pattern, or I see colors, or I see or I get a feeling, or but then again, that's just being the card reader. Then you have this set, but what it is basically, it's just kind of, the tarot cards are just basically the nuts and bolts of life,
Right.
So where then your intuition kicks in, and that's giving you more of an emotional, more intuitive thing, more energy reading. And then there's the mediumship, which is completely different, which is you're communicating. Yes, it's all still energy, but this is like energy that's been connected to you, loved ones and things like that. Or, and like when we do the paranormal investigating, at first I thought I was like kind of weird. I was like, the what? Paranormal ghost hunting, what is that?
Right.
So, but then I was like, how
different than
can I fit in there? I was like, how do I fit
Right.
in there? And I was like, oh my gosh, you know what? I can fit in there because you know what? Those energies that are probably stuck in those buildings on like, they just keep rotating and circling around with their energies, or they're trying to communicate, hey, where am I? What's going on here? Why am I so
Right.
lost? So we can like help them, or just even just letting them use you to communicate, because I'm also a channeler. So which means, and you are I feel like you're a channel too, because they're saying, yes, you're a channeler. And a lot of people don't know what a channeling is. And what it is energy can actually just jump inside you and utilize you and kind of communicate what they're wanting to say or do, to relay the messages that they need to hear, their story. And so, but then they leave, because we're still in control of our bodies, unless you're drinking,
Well, hey, let me bring up something, because that is very true. I never understood about channeling because, again, as I said, I have always visually been able to see spirits and communicate with them. So there was no reason for Ouija boards or cards or anything, or channeling, any of that, right? Until I went to Virginia City and I investigated my friend's bar over at the Union Brewery. And so I had just met Dawn, literally just met Dawn. I was going there. We were going up there to celebrate mine and her birthday. Met her at like 3:30 in the morning, and at like 5 o'clock we headed up there. And it was like during a snowstorm, like it was so bad. And so our other friend had said, hey, my friend that's coming, she owns a bar up there. Would you mind doing like a walkthrough? And I'm sure you get this all the time. Like everybody I know, no matter where we go, I'm put under a test. Oh, can you walk through? Can you tell? So I'm like, sure, no problem, because I'm used to it. I'm like, yeah, no problem. That was planned for Saturday, and this was a Friday, and we had just got there, and snowstorm was horrible. Like by the time I got up there, I needed like 50 drinks, and we were all drinking, and a bunch of investigators came, and they're like, oh man, can we go down to the basement? And so Dawn was like, oh, hey, would you like to go upstairs and walk around, see if you get anything? Now, obviously, Sober Christina, if she was watching over, would have been like, yeah, that's not a good idea, Christina. But drunk Christina was like, sure, let's go. Are you kidding? Let's do this. And we walked in, and as soon as we went into her apartment, she opens the door and she's like, now, mind you, she also didn't believe in psychics. So when her friend
Mm-hmm.
told me that she was bringing a psychic, I knew it was a test tube, but it was okay. So I walk in and she's like, so you see anything? And I'm looking dead at straight at a guy. And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, really? What does he look like? So I start explaining what he looks like. And as I'm explaining, he's looking like shocked at me, like, she can see me. And I'm looking at him like, oh, and you're here? Next thing I know, he ran full force at me, full force, and jumped me. Now, mind you, I've had spirits run through me before,
Yep.
never jump me, never ever. I'm not a channel. Like, stay on your side over there. Just tell me what your message is. I'll be happy to give it. Oh, not this guy. It was her ex-husband who had died in the apartment. And he needed to make it very clear that that's who was talking to her and make sure she knew it.
Mm-hmm.
She's looking at me crazy, like, who told you some stuff about what's going on? I hear myself talking,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not my words. I'm sitting there. I literally, she starts crying at one point and looks away. And all I know is I like reached out and grabbed her by the face and like, it's me. And I'm like, oh my God. All I'm thinking in my brain is I'm hearing myself talk and I'm thinking, oh my God, like I can't do anything on my own. Like she could like just punch me right now because she doesn't know me like that. And there would be
Mm-hmm.
absolutely nothing I could do. So I left there. Now she ended up, I said, the guy was like, oh, if you don't believe me, this will make you believe me. And I reached back. I'd never been in this place before. Reached back on her table, and I grabbed this box and I put it in her hand, and that just sent her over the edge. So she's like, "Oh my God!" And she started crying and took off running.
Mm.
And the next thing I know, my body's running after her.
Oh shit.
Until we get to the bottom floor and we go out the double doors. As soon as we got out the double doors, it broke.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Girl, I'm like, was I possessed? Was I jumped?
Yep.
What
No,
the
it
hell?
wasn't. Yeah, you weren't
Okay.
possessed because possession is like where they just don't leave, right? It's they just used you as a conduit to get their message across to and their story or whatever it was that they're needing
Whew.
to relay to the, so they used you because you are a channel, you were open. And yes, when you're sober, you have a little bit more control. You can kind of feel it and kind of like kind of try to contain it a little bit. But when you're drinking, Bloody Marys all day long in
I
Virginia
teach
City.
this. I teach paranormal safety. So what in the world was I thinking? You know what I'm saying? That just tells you, like, do not be drinking and then have anybody say, hey, let's go investigate. And you know what's crazy part is I have been on investigation. Now I will not investigate. Like if it was like an event or actual, that never would have happened. But I wasn't expecting to investigate. Um, but I have actually went to a lot of places where I see a lot of people like drinking or whatever before an investigation. And I literally now I tell people, look, I teach this stuff and I tell people not to do it. And I made the mistake of breaking my cardinal rule and doing that. And I'm telling you, that experience changed me because in 56 years, that's the only time it had ever happened. So
Mm-hmm.
again, as long as I've been in the field, I had no idea what had just happened to me. Somebody was like, oh, yeah, they used you to channel. I'm like, oh, okay. I need to start having some conversations with these spirits ahead of time. Like, look, you
Yep.
have anything you'd like to say? Feel free to talk to me, but no jumping me.
Yep.
Not okay.
Well, that's where I was exposed to that and learned all about that in the church that I went to. So when I grew up in the ministers there we used to have this thing called, spirit circle or mediumship circle. And that's when the three head pastors they would do that. We would sit in a quiet room and controlled environment. And they would kind of put themselves aside and let these spirits come through and communicate. So yeah, it was that's so I was exposed to that. I kind of knew exactly what goes on when you're experiencing that. It's just I had when I was in Virginia City. Oh my gosh, you can't go from one bar to the other bar to the next bar and be open channeling because they're just gonna just deep 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 get you everywhere you go. So
Yeah.
yes, Michelle had quite
I just
poor Michelle. She had quite the experience with me. I feel so bad because at first I was like kind of going, I was like a little bit out of it because I had been drinking Bloody Marys and then mixing other alcohol. So I was a little open to what happened. But it was like several of them kind of would take their turns and jump in and out, in and out. So it was like, and Michelle was just like, and the other people that were there were like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And it was scary for them. Once I realized what the heck happened, it was like, oh my gosh, I was just channeling. They were like just jumping in, but I had my guard down. And it was like, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So, but it was
no,
quite the experience for so many
I
people. Someone was
completely
so scared. They were like, I thought they were going to kill me by dehydrating me so much with their protection. So
Tia says that's a no, Christina. Yeah,
yes.
believe me, Tia. Hey, I learned very quickly, and that will never ever happen again. It was interesting. Hey, Lorraine, thank you so much for. Now, Lorraine, one of my great friends, she has been watching the show as long as I've been doing and following me. Absolutely amazing, a great author. Um, yeah, Michelle can handle it. She's not worried about any of that. Let's see. Oh, okay. I don't know what that is. Was about to say they should buy you a drink first before jumping in. At least,
Yeah.
right? He should have at least
Yeah.
offered me one. Damn it.
Yeah. And Michelle's
It's
saying
nothing.
no salt because they were asking for salt. So it was like this really weird situation. And I typically use salt during when I'm not drinking and I have my salt with me. That's my protection and grounding. And so, but salt is also something that can kind of bind them and hold them where they're at if they already are in there. So, but because it wasn't a possession, it was just a visitation basically. They were just using my body for a moment. And it was kind of it was definitely a different experience. So salt is very good, but in this situation, the way they were using it, in this experience, in this particular situation, salt was not good.
And again, being, having psychic abilities. I see you. You love to, go hang out, have a nice drink with some friends and stuff like that. Me too. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? People get mad when they see, like, I've been in the hospital, I come out and they see that I'm investigating or I'm drinking, one of the two. But I'm like, hey, this is who I am, this is what I do. But I will tell you, yes, drinking, you don't even have to be investigating. When you're a psychic and you're drinking, you're just open to everything. Everything else I can block out when I'm just trying to have a good time. Once I start drinking, it's like, yeah, okay. Everybody want to come talk. Everybody wants to come and interact with me.
Yep.
And I'm like, stop.
Yep.
So it can definitely be interesting.
I was just in Globe the other, I'm always in Globe, but in Arizona. And there's this one bar that I was at, and and my friends are like, "Who are you talking to? Who are you looking at?" Because I was like talking, and I didn't realize I was like talking out loud, like they could see me, and were watching me. And because you're talking to people with meat suits, and then I was also talking to. I believe he was trying to let me know he was the bartender from like when it was first built. So it was like he had like this whole, I could describe his outfit, the way he had his beard and the haircut, and it was fun. So, but yeah, so when you're drinking, you're like, people with meat suits come in, they want you to like, oh, you're a medium, well then read me, or you're
Right.
psychic, read me. And then also same with the spirits, they're like, oh yeah, well you can communicate, you can see me, well then let's chat, and you're just like, and then you look like a loon.
Crazy
So,
thing. I actually had went to go see Mish and our other friend Lisa, and they had met me at the one of the casinos, and so we were sitting having some drinks, and we had so of course, as soon as anybody hears your psychic, just like you said, all of a sudden everybody wants a reading. What would you pick up on me? Blah 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 blah. And so I don't know how in the world I attract all the crazy people, but this guy was super attracted to me. he was like some Russian mobster, and he was driving like a Sherwin-Williams. He was a truck driver for Sherwin-Williams. So he's trying to get me a ride in the Sherwin-Williams truck, and so I can give. Yeah, Michelle's like, I remember this. On the left side of me, all of a sudden, I get this random girl that just popped up, and one of my investigators, and he's also my cameraman, was with us too. And she starts reading him. Oh, I'm a psychic too. And she starts reading him. And she was so off. She's like, oh, yes, and you have kids. He has no children. And so he was just like letting her go on like for the longest. Like we had to go and save him to get away from this. But I remember my bird and steak too. Oh, yeah. Well, I have to say, like, we'd be having some crazy encounters for sure when we all get together. That is funny. And so, like, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get like kidnapped by some Russian mafia truck driver. And then he was like, oh, if you come with me, like, I can give you some paint. The hell am I gonna paint? My gosh, it was like always crazy. All I can say. All right, we've got.
You should have taken the paint though, because paint's kind of pricey now.
It's very expensive, and at the time I was a general manager and did a lot of painting of my hotel, so it probably would have been good. But I just have what I call final destination luck.
Mm-hmm.
I don't just have bad luck. I have it like right out of this movie. If it is going to go bad, it's going to go really bad. I ended up going to like a zombie event one time out here in Sacramento. It was like they do a zombie walk and everything. And my friend hosted was trying for the longest to get me to come and cover it for the show.
Mm-hmm.
So one year I finally felt so bad because I hadn't done it for so many years. I'm like, okay. And yeah, it was like a BDSM underground party. It had nothing to do with zombies. I did not see one zombie. Let's make that clear. No zombies. Nothing paranormal other than a lot of people with pasties and cages, whips. And
oh my gosh.
I figured, I'm going to end up in the cage in somebody's basement. So I bring my two guys with me you're my security tonight, just not my videographers. Yeah, didn't work either. They were over watching the girls get spanked. Like I would probably end up, in somebody's basement being their slave and or their sex slave of all things. I was that's kind of luck I have. So I have to be careful what I do. Hold on, let's see. All right, guys. So I'm going to go just a little bit over. Yeah, Robert, I know you remember. You've been around for a long time. If anybody has any questions, Onae has been nice enough to say that she will do some carpools. Now, again, I have joined a few of her lives because she actually does this on a quite regular basis for free readings. You just show up, and if she sees you in there and connects with you, and she'll pull for you, and great information. And a lot of people I've watched have been very happy with everything that you say. Well, hello, the goat. How are you, Jeff? Been a while. So glad to have you back. All right, let's see. Pat says, I've had a stalker for more than 40 years. I dated him when I was 15. He said I was born to be his. In the 1990s, he received a traumatic brain injury and is an alcoholic. I finally blocked him. He will call for hours on end. Will he get hostile at some point? Guess that's your first question for.
All right. Let's see what I got for you, Pat.
Hey, Jeff, I'm doing good. We're just doing the show and doing some readings. Glad to have you back. All right, we'll see what we can get for you, Pat.
All right, Pat, ready? Here we go. All right, so it's really difficult to get rid of him because I have that because I'm shuffling the cards, and as you can see or hear that I'm shuffling. What this is another way of kind of getting from information from a reading is how do the cards shuffle for me while I'm thinking about your situation. And it's kind of sticky in the beginning, and that's what I'm getting here. And so it was kind of difficult for you to get rid of him. And it was kind of almost like it was a sticky situation, kind of. And that's what they're making me say. They would say it's sticky. And so with that, they're like, I don't think he's going to. I think you're going to get to a point where he will eventually kind of go, because it shows right here when I cut the deck, you've got a blue 2. Blue 2
Oh,
tells me right there, Pat, is that you're going to have two things that you're going to be starting to become more content, and things are going to start to smooth out in your life right there. So I think they're saying the word fade in my head. So fade, he's going to fade. This person's going to fade away. So no worries about that. It does look like here, yes, we did pull the first card out here, which is the devil card. I love the devil card, okay? But some people are afraid of it, but I love it. It's it means
again, it's the
passion.
meaning. Right. It's the
For
meanings.
me,
And a
it
lot
can
of
mean
people,
passion. It can mean, but it also can represent here, because if you look at it in this one in particular, you see the chains. These people are feeling chained, right? And they don't have to be chained, because all they have to do is make a decision to break away from something. This is the devil card is basically saying you might feel like you're chained to something, but all you have to do is, because they're saying in my head, all you have to do is just make a decision. Okay. And focus on where you want to go. And as you are focusing on where more positive things and where you want to go in your life, the other things will slowly move away. Or what will happen is you're going to be so focused on what you're wanting to do that solutions will come. People will be brought into your life, or such scenarios will be brought into your life that will kind of break those chains in some form. So when you have this here coming up here, I know there's the fear. I feel the fear that you have. Don't fear it so much. Focus on where you want to go, and the positive things of breaking free. Also, if it gets to be too much of an issue, I do have this lovely little lemon spell that I love to do. It's all protection, and it's only meant for good. And what it does is you have the lemon repels the energy. Okay, they'll go away. So if you ever get to that point, I always leave that one for a very, very important, like really like dire straits kind of thing. But otherwise, I don't feel like you're going to even need that, because they feel like here you are already breaking the chains and moving forward towards a new beginning. So I wouldn't even worry about it right now. So just keep focusing on the positive and where you're wanting to go, because I feel like it's just, they keep saying the word fade. It's just going to fade away, fade away, fade away. And I'm going to leave that with you, Hannah, and I hope that helps.
perfect. Well, there you go. I hope that helps answer some things. Robert says, Jack Christina looking a whole lot better than when I last saw you. Yeah, everybody knows, like, I have a terminal illness, so my health, like, over the last few years, especially since I got COVID, has been hell on me. But I'm also like a cat with like 1,000 lives. So it's not my damn time. I've been ready to go for like the last 10 years, and every time I have a near-death experience, it's like, no, it's not your time yet. You got to go back, Christina. Like, look, I'm over it. Can you guys just send me? I got some haunting I'd like to do real quick.
I am gonna when it comes to haunting, I'm like gonna be so into that. I'm like going to their little machines and going, that dress makes you look fat.
No, I'm going to tell everybody I'm a demon. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to make everybody believe, since they already think that from television everything's a demon, I'm going to make some real people really think so, and I'm be very happy. So, all right, let's see. Tia has a question, and she's wanting to just know life direction at this point.
All right, life direction for Tia.
All right, Tia, you're next.
Let's see here. Oh, and look at that. Oh my gosh, you were like right there. I'm shuffling, and it's right there. You've got a green 5. 5 means to me frivolous. So you're not happy where you are in a financial situation. So right there, it's telling me here with that, you're going to be making changes, because they're saying the word changes in my head for you. It does look like here with that also, it is going to be here. You're making the changes. You're making the break. Things are not working out as well as you'd like, but don't worry about this being the 3 of Swords, which means, kind of breaking away from things, because basically it's saying here, you have to kind of release one thing in order to make room for the next. So when you have like these stressful looking cards, which, they're great, they're like beautiful little, individual pieces of art, right? So that's all they are. But what it is for you here, hon, it's saying here, you need to kind of make a break. Okay. And that is making the changes that you're hoping for. It does look like here it's something you've been ready and waiting for, and something is definitely coming your way. Listen to your intuition. It's getting sharper. And with that, it's going to help you bring in what the opportunities that you have been hoping for, because it's saying here, what you think about, you're going to bring about. Thoughts are energy. So stay focused and on what you're wanting. Figure it out what you're wanting, where at least the general area of what you're wanting. And it's going to happen. And it's saying here, when you do that, it's totally worth the investment right there. So just, you're going to have financially, things are going to be getting better, more solid. And here's happiness and joy in your life right there. So you're making decisions this year. That's what's happening here for you. Ooh, when I'm getting chills. I'm getting chills. So yeah, this is all good. So it's going to be something you're really working hard for. And it does look like here with this, you will be taking action on a financial situation. And there it is, leading to love, happiness, the epitome of love and happiness in your life. And it does look like here with that, I'm going to say probably around the time frame, if you have not already done this already, this is in the time of Gemini, but it could also be as much as all these changes are going to be happening from Gemini through all the way to Libra. So, and also possibly either someone or something in your life is going to be making an impact in your life and affecting it with the possible initial of an MNAT. I'm going to leave that with you, and I hope that helps.
She says, very accurate. I've been working towards putting my art out, moving, saving up. Wow. Told you, she's amazing. Right on. Okay. Oh, Lorraine, no problem. Thank you so much. I know you always try to catch some of it live and then watch the rest of it after. Thank you for being with us. I appreciate you. All right. So we have Elizabeth. And Elizabeth first didn't want to read. She just wanted to watch. But now she's piqued her interest. She says, actually, I'd love to know if I'm on the right path with my career. What can we find for her? All right, Elizabeth, you're next.
They are, I haven't even like shuffled yet. They're just like, they're showing me something about selfies or taking pictures and being around influential people. So whoever you might be around, it's saying here, take the selfies. It's all about social, something's going on with like social media. I don't know, like, are you like an Instagram person who's always taking pictures or something? Something's going to develop from that. And that's kind of what I'm getting here for you. My God, yeah. And then they're saying TikTok. So I don't like, do you do TikTok too? I'm like, they're like going on and on. And they have me going back and forth here. So I can't even look at the camera. They're having me so back and forth. It's crazy. So, but whatever it is that you're doing, hon, it's saying here, keep moving forward with listening to creative ways of coming up with money. So be open to that, because that's what I'm kind of feeling is going on here. I don't even know if I'm answering the question, because they just took me off onto like social media, selfies, taking, definitely being behind the camera for sure. Whatever it is, that talent, the ability that you have, it looks like it's going to keep growing and moving forward for you. I also hear it's saying here, you need to be firm with your, my whole life is social. I got it. Oh, and you do readings on TikTok. Okay.
Yes. So you're spot on right now. That's why everybody's like, that's why Mish was like, oh shit. Because yes, you're spot on. Yeah.
But you know what, hon? You need to totally be firm with yourself and others. Okay. Be firm. Okay. Cause I feel like when they're telling me this, they say, oh, you're a mush. So don't be such a mush. Okay. Be firm with what you're wanting and what you're needing and how to communicate it. And just, oh, good. And you have your own show on YouTube there. And there's something going to be branching off and growing from there. So there's going to be something more happening here for you. And I won't even be surprised if you end up like, yeah, I see you have your shop, or your show, but I feel like do you do something in a shop too? Like in like a shop. So there's something coming up here where it's like saying it's like almost tangible stuff. And that's what I've got here. New beginnings, you're gonna be finding another way of making money, and it is gonna be almost more tangible. So it looks like, and it's gonna be totally motivated. And I don't know, are you going to Vegas or something? I don't know, you're gambling. I don't know what's gonna go have fun. But does it like here, listen to yourself, okay? Your own intuition, because it's saying here, woo, okay, love is in the air. So that's going to be happening here for you. Also a partnership. It does look like here you're figuring out exactly what you want now. Things are going to be shifting, because right now you feel like you are in limbo, but saying here, just having, maybe a different perspective of something and how you can use your abilities, because it's saying here, just have faith. It's going to be happening for you. And you will, there's relationship, solid foundation, partnership. And I got chills just now. So I don't know if there's a love in your life coming up here, or there's some kind of definite, like, if this is not love, then this is passion and partnership that's coming your way. And it's saying here with this, with the legal card here, it's creating balance in your life, possibly even signing of some kind of contracts. So it's going to be, you're going to be learning. And you're going to be learning, because they're showing me zeros and ones in the green, like whatever that thing is, that little downloady thing. So I'm really technical, right? But it's saying here, you're learning, okay? You're gonna be learning and downloading information, not only from spirit, but also from learning tangible, okay? How to help you with your business. So it looks like here, which is gonna create more opportunities for you to implement more of your desires of what you want. And they all kind of coincide, they're saying. So I'm gonna leave that with you, and I hope that helps.
Absolutely. So, oh my God, I love this. You are more accurate than you even know. So we'll just leave it at that one. All right, let me scroll up because we got some more people. Boy, they're flooding in. All right. Good morning. I would like to. Oh, this is from Arati. Good morning. I would like to know what I need to improve in myself for a better life.
All right.
Kind of general, but we'll see what she can pull for you.
They're telling me confidence. You're actually quite perfect the way you are. Okay. You just have to have confidence in yourself. I'm feeling like you are your own worst enemy. And that's what they're telling me right there. So let's see. I'm gonna shuffle now. Yeah, things are moving smoothly. Look at that. They just shuffled and they were beautiful. It was a beautiful shuffle. So that tells me right there that things are, you just put your mind to it. You have confidence in what you're wanting to do, hon, and what your desires are, because you are on a path. And if you feel like things aren't working out right for you, they're showing me the spider web, and the spider web is what I use symbolically to let people know that yes, it's one string. One spider is creating and making this string, and this string is their life experiences and people that they meet, and all this stuff. It's all kind of being interconnected. And you think, oh my gosh, maybe this fly flew in the web there and like messed it up and got it all tangled. But no, it added, like, it was an experience. Maybe it was a hardship. Maybe it was a speed bump that what happened. But you know what? You just kind of wrap it up, you take care of it, and you move on to the rest of your spider web of leaving your life. This is all life experiences, all these interconnections. Because if you didn't, like, maybe this one situation happened, and if this bad situation happened, which happens to me all the time, I'm always having life experiences. So, and I'm just like, enough, please. But anyway, with this, if I didn't have this experience here, then I wouldn't have met and been catapulted over to here to meet this person, to have this experience over here with this person. And then that person led me to this person over here. And it's like just a way of series of things are happening in your life. And whether they happen instantly or you have to wait and have things kind of like just kind of download and settle so that your soul and your spirit, because we're all on a journey and it's all about lessons and learning, because that's what we're here for, loving and learning. Okay. And that's what we're basically here for. But they're telling me for you, hon, it's confidence. You just need confidence in yourself. But I'll lay out some cards for you, even though that's what they're telling me here. Because right here, it's like right there again, a blue 5. You are not content where you are. Why? Just figure out exactly what you want. I'm loving myself, healthy and happy. That's it. Have that be your mantra. And then with that, you will find contentment. And it's right there. Happiness and joy. New good messages are coming your way once you focus on exactly what you want and are confident in it. Right now, you just trap yourself because you trap yourself. Okay. You're not seeing that all these chains or all these wrappings or all these swords or blocks, it's just something that you just have to just take off the blindfold, have a different perspective, whatever it is that you need to do. Just have confidence in yourself, because you are not trapped. You're actually quite solid. And it shows that right there. You just need right there to make decisions, figure out exactly what you want, make the decision, and be confident. Ask, believe, receive. I'm gonna leave that with you, hon, and I hope that helps.
There you go. All right. Got a few more. So Jeff from Ohio, the goat of the paranormal, my friend. he just wants to just read. He doesn't have a specific question. Let's just see what you can just pull just out of the air. Let's see.
All right, let's see what we got for goat.
All right, Jeff, this is you.
All right.
We'll get to yours after that, and Michelle will get to yours right after that.
I don't know what they're showing me, like a field of corn. I don't know, like, are you a farmer or something? I don't. What is this? I'm like, why am I in a field of corn? I don't know. This is crazy. They show weird stuff. Well, listen, Jeff, you've got some good things happening here for you financially. You got a green 7, and then you also cut a green 8. That means financially things are really going to start to pick up for you. Abundance. Okay. 8 can represent abundance here for you. And it does look like here with this, it's also spiritually, things are going to be like kind of satisfying for you. Whatever you're going to be doing as far as work or whatever this is saying here, it's going to like be almost satisfying spiritually, but also financially. So it's a blessing in both ways. And that's what I'm getting here for you. It does look like here you will be taking quick action on something right there. And it's saying here with a new passion or love right there is happening. And it does look like here with this, I'm going to say passion, because this is all about you taking on a dominant role in a financial situation where you are taking fast action on that. It does look like here with this also, right now, maybe you're not feeling it or seeing it right now. Maybe you're feeling like you're in a stalemate situation, but it does look like here because when you do that, when you're not seeing the options or even what you're wanting, if you're like kind of blocked as to what, because you feel like, am I even able to have what I want? Yes, you are. So stop blocking yourself, stop stressing over scenarios that could not or would not even happen, but you're creating all these stressful situations in your mind. Don't worry about it. You just take action. Just know that it's going to happen when you put your mind to it. Make that decision, and then it looks like here all of a sudden action. You've got double action here, and you have the 2 fastest action cards in here, which tells me you will be moving fast. You're motivated, and you don't mind working hard for what you want. It does look like here and then with that, once you figure out exactly what you want, you're going to start taking the baby steps that you need to take to make sure you reach your goal. I do see you being very confident and also very successful, because this is your wish card. And I'm going to leave that with you, hon. And I hope that helps.
Wow, love that. All right, Jeff. Well, there you go. All right, we've got Carol Ann, and she's actually a very long-time friend of mine. She says, does the little boy who I encountered years ago come back to visit me?
Yes, and you know it too. Now, I don't know what this ring around the rosy thing, or there's some kind of rosy, something like that is happening here too. I don't know, like, did you just have like a crown of roses or something like that? Love you too, Jeff. So yeah, I'm like, something that keeps saying roses. Are you smelling roses? Are you like, do you have roses? He will not let go of this rose thing, the rose word. I'm not really sure exactly what this is all about. But definitely. And then, do you feel like there's something wrapped around your ankle or tied to your ankle or something? Because I'm feeling like there's something around the ankle too. So I don't know who or what is going on with you on that one, but this is what they're doing, making me feel. So, and this is where, when we do this kind of stuff, it's just kind of like, well, I don't know. I need to wait till the comment comes up,
Right. Yeah, I'm waiting for her too. So
it's like,
we're leaving it that for right now.
This is where like mediumship and stuff like that kind of happen. You need.
His brother left some roses.
Okay, there you go. So there
you go.
Yeah, definitely.
I knew she was listening. Just take her a minute to get like, oh, we got a delay.
So yeah, that's what. Yeah, this is. And then when you have the mediumship and things like that, because when they come, they're there. You feel them. You get that zing up the back of the neck. The hair stands up either which way, or you get an anxiety kind of feeling, like you can't breathe, because that's spirit tapping in and touching in. Because we have our meat suits, and with our meat suits, we just kind of vibrate slow. But then when we let go of our meat suits and we ascend or whatever, or join the big whatever anybody believes, that I just kind of leave it as the general. Right. It's they vibrate at a much higher vibration. So when they're touching in and we're all, couch potatoes, and they're all high vibration, and they touch in and tap in, we get kind of like the jitters. Yes, exactly. Kind of like too much coffee. You're right, Robert. So yeah. And that's exactly what it's like. And that's when you kind of go, now this is where I thought my whole life, I thought I had like I do have anxiety. Okay. I suffer from anxiety. I'll tell everybody and anybody. I mean, because I'm human, right? So, but I learned that that's part of a sign that that's when spirit's tapping in and communicating with me. I get like a can't breathe kind of a feeling, and that's their symbol for me. Or they'll give me other I as you grow and learn, from experiences you learn different things, but that's
Right.
one of them, and that was one of the beginnings, and that was where I had the most difficult time kind of going, okay, I had to learn, please work with my energy, stop making me freak out, and work with my energy, and communicate with me on my level, and communicate with me with symbols and signs or words or visions, whatever it is you need me to do to communicate, but make it in a safe environment for me, or a safe energy for me, so that we
So it
can
doesn't overwhelm
communicate.
you.
Yes, mediums have
Perfect.
anxiety. Oh my gosh, I know. Isn't it crazy? It's just
Don't
like,
we?
oh my gosh. And then of course, and then when you have an anxiety, just like you're just a stressful person. I'm stressing if I'm not stressing, or having, if I don't have anxiety, I'm like stressing why don't I have anxiety? There's something wrong here. So yeah, so it's like all wonderful.
Okay, I see Lacey and Allie. We will get you here shortly. We got a couple other people ahead of you. So Michelle is asking, can you tell me about my path and my journey, how it's going, and if she's on the right path? I don't think you need to be a psychic or have cards for that one, but go ahead. Let's do that for Mich.
Mish, I love you, sweet pea. You are beautiful, and you are on the
Absolutely.
right path. You are the epitome of follow your heart. Okay, you are just the epitome of love, and not only for those of us who have meat suits, but those for the spirits. You help them communicate, and you help them tell their story, and you help them just by your energy in the room. You are definitely on the right path. You will be. I don't know if, like, I'm seeing, like, I don't know if it's necessarily TV, but I do see something happening here where it's getting bigger and growing, almost kind of like they're saying like megaphone. I don't know what that means. So there's something bigger, like something's going to give you a louder voice, a bigger voice than you have right now. And they're saying, yes, you are on the right path. They're saying, just keep moving forward and stepping forward in faith, because the megaphone is coming. So that's what I'm getting. They won't stop saying megaphone. So and these are some pretty big shoes that you're making people have to compete with, those lovely jealous people. So, but you don't let their demons bother you.
That's
Okay.
right. I've been telling her that for years. She's to stay on her pathway. She's all kinds of things are coming good for
You know,
great for her.
yeah, I met Michelle, and when we first met, I met her, at an event one time, or I saw her. I didn't like really meet her. But then when we actually like met like one time, she didn't even know me, and she just comes up and she just hugs me. And it wasn't like just like, oh, hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you. I mean, the girl just freaking just whoosh, like just like hugged me, and like just love, just wrapped me in love, an envelope of love right there. And it was just like, and it was so healing. And she's just like, and of course, me, I have anxiety, and I don't like people touching me. So I'm just like, ooh, what is she doing? But then once
Right.
it's like, I realize, I'm like, she's not letting go. And I'm like, and I'm reading her energy, and I'm letting go of my anxiety, and I'm reading her energy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I felt so good afterwards. I was like, wow, that was a great hug. She's just like, I know you needed it. And I'm like, you don't even know me, woman. But yeah.
And she's
And then we
known.
became
She's
good
known
friends
for
after
her.
that.
Yes, she is known for her hugs. That is for sure, for sure. So that
And I
is
have a
amazing.
picture of us hugging, or her hugging me, really more.
Mhm.
But my belly, I'm like in like this really awkward position. So I'm like, my belly's all sticking out, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm not posting that.
Well, it's funny. We have talked about this not too long ago, but Michelle and I, you know, we've been in the field for a long time. I've known her, Vince, all this kind of stuff, and you know, the crazy drama world of the paranormal, a whole bunch of
Mm.
people had come to me and they're like, oh, Michelle doesn't like you. She's talking so much crap, but yet she'll be at all the events that you're at and act like she. So, first of all, people should already know how I am. Like, if you tell me something like that, I'm not going to have a feel. I saw her up in Virginia City and I literally saw her running. I'm like, Michelle, we need to speak. And I'm like, yeah, I heard you didn't like me. And she's like, what? I'm like, oh, you do like me? After we got that cleared, I'm like, oh, let's go have a shot and I made her some spaghetti and we've been besties ever since.
Yeah, it's like when you have those
Oh, the
haters, it's
cameras
just
are
like they love to
on.
tear people apart. It's just like it's so sad.
Oh my
And
God,
and there's just so much room for everybody to have their own vibe and their own way of doing things, and they're just so jealous. And it's just what it's like they're trying to pull people down. It makes them feel bigger and better, and they're not. So
she said, and it was delicious spaghetti, I have to say. Yeah, that's been a conversation we've had ever since.
I'd be like,
All
"Oh,
right.
you're feeding me spaghetti. You really don't like me. Maybe those rumors really are true because I can't eat spaghetti."
Right. Maybe I put something in the spaghetti and I magically made you my friend and then you'll never go anywhere. All right. We have Lacey. Lacey says, I lost my sister December 2021. I would love to see if she could get a message from
That's definitely that's mediumship. Okay, I will do
her.
my
Yeah.
best. I don't like to the thing is when it comes to mediumship, I mean, if she's
Yeah.
tapping in, if she wants to tap in, that's great. It's just when it comes to mediumship on something like this, I don't want to sound general, and then it's like, oh yeah,
Absolutely.
so
And
yeah,
she was
she's here.
actually, yeah, and previously she said, first time here, do you guys offer mediumship? And both of us actually are in a mediumship. You're welcome to reach out to either one of us if you're wanting that kind of reading. Right now, Onae, she's just doing card pulls for tarot cards. But if you have a specific question that you maybe are looking for an answer to, but again, if you'd like possibly a message from your sister, feel free to reach out to either Onae or myself. Either one, we'd be happy to
Yeah.
help you.
But do know that she is watching over you, okay, because she's showing me angel wings. So I don't know if you got a tattoo or something in memory of her with the wings, but that's what she's showing me. Also, she's saying here with the financial situation, you're going to come up with a creative way of figuring it out, and she's there to help you. You will be receiving some kind of gift or present in some form. I do feel like she showed me a green package, so I feel like this is going to be some kind of probably either this is like green can represent the heart chakra, or this is and I'm getting chills. She just keeps giving me chills. And then or this is going to be a matter of financial situation. So whatever's going on here, hon, you definitely your sister's not left you. Okay. So just
And I'm
know that she's
sorry,
there.
I was not trying to laugh in the middle of what you were saying because what you were saying had nothing that was funny about it. I'm reading these comments, and then all of a sudden I see Michelle said she thought that I put poison in the spaghetti, but then she didn't care because it was delicious. Like, only Michelle.
Oh my God.
And Michelle will be like, you know what, you probably poisoned me, but hey, I'm gonna trust it anyway.
It's all right. It's all good. It's good poison, right?
That's right. Well, I only poisoned you to be in my life forever. You're not going anywhere, Mish, so just get over it. All right, let's see. We've got Jennifer. Hey, Jennifer. Jennifer, again, is somebody who's been listening to the show, following me for a long time. I have given her many readings. She's actually going to be getting another one here real soon. But her question right now, she says, nothing specific, just do you see or feel anything that I need to know?
All right.
Something general. Let's see what we got for you, Jennifer.
We got ow. Okay. I don't.
Oh,
This is what they do to me. Ow. All right. So I don't know if like you got TMJ or you're just stressing so bad that you grind your teeth. But you need to relax. This is like really tense and it's hurting. So yeah, I don't know what you're stressing about, but you really I don't know if this is like a dental issue, a jaw issue, or you're just so darn tight. And I don't know what the heck the leopard print is, or the cougar, or is it a cougar or a leopard or something going on here? I don't know what this is, but they're showing me like leopard print, and then you're stressing. So I don't know, like, what is this? And what's a leotard? Are you like a dancer or something? Because I'm getting like, are you dancing around? Are you feel like you're tiptoeing and dancing, like not like dancing, like but like, are you dancing around the situation, or like you're trying to be light-footed around a certain situation? I don't know what this is, but ow, they won't let go of my jaw. They will not release this. Oh my gosh. So I don't know what what you're going through, hon, but you need to relax. This is, I don't know,
Yeah,
take a
even
Valium.
Robert's picking up on stuff. So yeah, okay. All right.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Let's
But I'm gonna leave
see.
that with you, and I'm going to just kind of like put that back to you because I need that. I need to release that. That hurts.
So
Yeah,
yes, around the situation.
yeah,
So
yeah. You need to, yeah. So figure some way of doing some kind of, they're saying try to figure out like a 10-second meditation of some sort, have like a mantra or something that you can just like really quickly kind of figure something out to like help you figure out, a relaxation way, because if you stress too much, you're not going to see the answer is right there for you. Because also, as I'm shuffling, I did cut a blue 2 for you, which means there's going to be 2 things coming up here that will help you balance out what you're needing to do and figure out a way to kind of bring tranquility and contentment into your life. So the situation is not here forever. It's just a blip. Okay. So don't stress over it. Relax. It's not going to matter in 5 years. That's what they're telling me. So
all
also,
right.
you do have a 5-year-old little boy around you, or someone in here has a 5-year-old little boy. I don't know what this is. This just jumped in. So it's, I don't know if this has anything to do with you or somebody else, but yeah, they're saying a 5-year-old, and they're saying 5-year-old, and then they're saying little boy. So I don't know what that means. So if somebody is here in the chat or something, and there's something going on with a 5-year-old little boy,
Yeah.
um,
Our next person is actually, she's saying it's her. So
okay.
she says he's laying with me.
Oh, okay.
But
All right. Well,
she's been wanting as well. She's been wanting a question. So hold on a second. Allie says, I would like to know if anything specific comes up that may be holding me down. No drive.
okay.
And
Love
he's
yourself.
very stressed today, lately. So maybe that's why you're picking up on her 5-year-old.
Okay.
All right, let's see what we got for you, Allie.
All right, hon, let's see here. You have to have confidence in yourself also. You beat yourself up too much here. So you have to trust that you're making the right decision. And when it comes to breaking away from things, because I see like you're needing to break away from something, and you need to be happy. Okay, so like I'm like all hunched over and tight and tense, and I'm just like, you just need to like kind of relax, make the decision, and know that life is going to be okay. It's, when you're not happy, it's going to affect the child. The child does see, hear, feel. They're more observant. So if there's something stressful going on, it's okay to, express your feelings and let them know that you're human. But that also let them know that you have a way that you're going to trust, that you are making the right decision, and for the both of you. And you know what, like they'd rather be near, and it's healthier for them to be near someone who is more happy, more calm. So if you are in a very stressful situation, you need to kind of do some kind of breaking away of something, whatever it might be. I don't even, if it's a bad habit or if it's just a bad situation. So it's looking here like you are going to be, you are the caretaker. Okay, you love to provide. And so with that, and right now you're going through a situation where you're really not confident in yourself and that you can do it. But it's saying here, communication of creative ideas is happening, and it will lead you to open communication, okay? Will lead you to happiness and joy. So I'm gonna leave that with you, hon, and I hope that helps.
All right. I think she said, wow, thank you so much. And yes, 717. Well, again, I have to say, amazing as always. Amazing as always. And she says, thank you. So,
Yeah, and I
yeah,
got
see,
chills. So you're on the right path. I'm getting chills. So you're on the right path.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I know, again, you've had a long weekend. Today, everything, I don't want to wear you out, but I appreciate you staying a little longer to answer these questions.
My pleasure.
I think everybody's very happy with what they got. So, as usual, it's nothing different that I haven't seen before. So, I'm confident it'll be great.
Well, thank you. It was an honor being a guest on your show. So thank you so much. I appreciate
Anytime. We're
it.
definitely, as we say, we're going to get
And we
together.
got to
We
swap.
talk before. 100%. Yes, absolutely. Whenever you're ready, I got
Are
you.
you gonna be? Oh, I'm gonna be in Virginia City. June 14th, 15th and 16th, 17th, 18th, something like that, like around that time frame. Because I'm going to be filming with the network that I'm on, Spirit Realm, and I'm also doing a mediumship and psychic gallery up there too. And so I'll be up there. So if you're going to be in the area in Virginia City around
I'm
June,
3 hours away, girlfriend. I can get up there even if I gotta take the train up there. Send me
great.
send me the information and I'll set it up for sure. I'd
Yes, I'm
love to
already
get to
flying
it.
in. I already have my tickets. I just can't remember the numbers for some reason. I remember things
Yeah,
for I
just
can do it all day for everybody else, but when it comes to information for me, it's just like
same. So yeah, just send me a message with the dates and then I'll get everything set up and absolutely I'll come out and we'll hang out for sure.
yes. Yes, we will bar hop like the whole C Street. That's like my favorite thing to do there. I love Virginia City. I want to move to Virginia City. I want to live in. I want to open up a bar entertainment thing in Virginia City. I want to buy the Delta. How's that? I love the
There,
Delta.
there you go. Well, I had so my girlfriend that owns the union for a long time, she was trying to find, like somebody to go up there and manage and stuff like that. And she was wanting me to go up there. Okay, but I will just say, Christina is a California girl for real. And anybody that will tell you, Michelle will tell you, when I go up there, it is so damn cold when it is the wintertime. I'm like a popsicle stick. I can't investigate. Last investigation we did, we were doing a documentary. We investigated all over the place and over at the Bonanza and everywhere. We're doing all these little documentary things. And I'm literally at one point curled up in a ball. I look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man because I had like 16 layers of clothes. I had this big old puff jacket and I still was freezing. And I'm like, what would be the point of me? I love Virginia City, but I'd only be able to be up there 6 months of the year because I can't do that snow
Yeah,
and that cold.
totally.
It's
Yeah, you
bone
have to
chilling.
be a total snowbird. That's it.
Yes. So 6 months, yes.
Yeah. So
These
six
all the way
months.
up to
Yeah,
October
my,
6th.
my ideal thing is 6 months in Virginia City, the warm months, and then you come
That's right.
down to Tombstone and you do 6 months in Tombstone.
That part right there. That's the plan. That is the plan. So yes, I
Let's
have
set
to
this
stay the
up.
warm.
Let's set this up.
That's right. Yeah. So some collaborations we'll do there, and then we'll set one up your way. And yes, let's do this.
All
All
right.
right,
Thank
let's
you so much, hon. It was a
thank
pleasure.
you, and I'll be in contact, and then we'll get something set up for Virginia City and something out there for your hometown stomping ground. Go have some fun.
All right. Thank you,
All right,
everyone.
love.
Bye.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Oh, or you just got here. Thank you guys for showing up. Again, anybody who needs to reach out, feel free. Again, she's linked in everything, all the events page, so you can go and check her out. Feel free. Again, I'm always here. You guys know I'm around. All right, we will be back next week. Hopefully, Chad will be back and he will be healthy again and he can come. His wife is nursing him back to health right now. And so it was the ladies' night tonight, but I think it was an amazing show. Everybody's saying how great of a show it was. So again, without you, why would I be here? So I appreciate the following, the support, and the love for sure. All right, everybody, have a great night. I will see you next Sunday, same time. Love you.